Hello, everybody. Um, it's just me apparently. I sent the link out, but yeah. Let me send it to another place. There it is. Ta-da! Okay. So if you want to join, Cat, you totally can. But yeah. Okay. Hi. I'm Lauren Nettles. I am still in California. Um, there's a babysitter right now, so I am off duty for a little bit. So I thought I would hop on, get some stuff going. Um, there is a poll, and it looks like it's Beta Reader's winning. It was a three-way tie, so that was lovely. um, yeah, so I thought we could do some shorter 20-minute sprints, just to keep things moving along. Um, I have so much stuff I could beta read right now, but I also want to get my edits done for Seeds of Doubt so that it can go to editor and another round of beta readers. What are they now? Delta readers? I don't even know. But yeah. Um, so, um, yeah, but I also have a short story that I want to draft for um, a press and their anthology, whatchamacallit, theme is trains. So um, I have a mood board for it, and I'm very happy with the mood board. So yeah, okay. So hello Kelly, hello Jennifer, hello Kat, hello Cool Gamer, hello Charlie. Um, yeah, this is a random pop up. So um, yeah. Let me find. There's my mood board. So this is my mood board. I gotta stop sharing my screen and share this screen. Oh no. So this is the clamoring of engines. So it is a historical, magical realism, cosmic horror thingamajig. So how much of their soul can a human lose and still retain their humanity? So it's Full Metal Alchemist meets Lovecraft. Um, yeah, so that's the short story that I want to work on. So this kid is a teenage major in the army and specializes in the occult and these runes and stuff, and has traded part of his soul to bring his brother back to life. So he lost part of his soul, which has been replaced by energy from an elder god, basically. And so, yeah. So he has the whisperings in the back of his mind and can utilize their energy. But if he uses too much of his own energy, it pulls on that energy. And so this rebel group does not think the main character has humanity's best interest at heart anymore because he is tainted by this elder god. So they are going to do a hijacking of the train and try and take him out. So this kid is 17, 16. But yeah, so that's the short story. But yeah. Oh no, cat! Oh no! But hello, Charlie. Oh, were you near it again, or oh, that's tough. Let's see. I'm thinking about joining you. Yes, but the front moving through has attacked my joystick. No. Evil front. I need that story. Yeah. So that's the clamoring of engines. So it's the engine of the train, the engine of the universe, and humans trying to do whatchamacallit, their own stuff. But yeah. Hello, Crystal. Hello, hello. So it fell from the ceiling tile. Oh no! I'm so sorry, Cat. Oh, my sister had a mouse problem, and yeah, like a mouse made something fall over onto it and squished it. And so she has not had fun. Charlie, you are alive.
Yeah, I'm technically skiving off work today because
Nice.
but I don't want to be home alone and like, hey, I could hang out and talk to Laura. So yay.
Yay! Yeah. It's been interesting being in California with all of the babysitting. So babysitter, I'm free. I will do the thingamajigs. So yeah. Are you just trying to survive?
I am so the my elbow joints are hurting so bad. The pinkies on both of my fingers are numb. And they're not numb because I can't feel them. It's just any
The
signal is not
nerves.
getting through the pain in my elbows right now.
Oh
like,
no. Have
like
you tried telling your elbows positive affirmations?
I have tried just about everything. We have a really strong front moving through north of us that's going to be really bad. They're already having tornadoes and stuff north of us. But hopefully we won't see any of the sky kaiju around here.
Woo.
But yeah, I did get a new experience from this front that I feel like would be perfect for one of your stories.
Yeah.
So I was walking down the hall and my ear popped from the pressure change,
Mm-hmm.
but it didn't go all at once. And it sounded like I had crickets inside my ears
No!
because it was just a little like it's just like that little
Yeah.
like punctuated popping that it just and it was the most disorienting experience I've had in a very long time because it's like, why are there crickets in my ears?
Ugh.
What is going on? What is this? And I said, Brian, help me get to the chair. And I told him what was going on, and he was just like, so your ears are popping like somebody letting air out of a balloon so it makes farting noises? I was like, yes! That's what's happening in my ears right now. Someone's balloon farting in my ears, and I don't like it.
Oh no. That sucks.
But if you
Ugh.
need to write a really disorienting scene in one of your horror stories, yeah, crickets in the ears. It's
Yeah, yeah.
it's not a pleasant
Oh
experience.
gosh. I was traumatized as a child from Wrath of Khan. The bug in the ear scene. Oh my gosh. I to this day I cannot watch it. I thought I was an adult and a big kid like 3 years ago. I was like, I'm gonna do it, and I watched it and I could not watch that scene.
I fully understand that. When I was a child, we lived in a trailer in Arkansas for a brief period of time down in Texarkana, and we had a centipede invasion, and they try to crawl in everything. And enough said.
Yeah, yeah.
So when I saw that for the first time, I was like, "So did they go to Arkansas?"
Ah! But yeah. Hi, Morgan.
Hi, Morgan.
Let's see. Megan says, just saying hello. I've been enjoying the sun by the pool. Now I'm just going to chill. Nice, nice. And Jennifer says, Charlie, for some reason, when we said that, my YouTube help screen activated at the same time. It's going to help you from the bugs. Awesome sauce. So, let me check on the poll. Beta reading has won for this first sprint. So, woot woot. So, let me share my timer once more.
Yeah, I'm kind of sort of working on an article, but I might try to get my brain over to do something creative. I miss doing creative things.
Yeah, I haven't even been reading lately. Like, ugh. Yeah. Fun
The
times.
closest thing I've done to reading is there are a couple audiobooks that I really enjoy falling asleep to. Like they just get me in the right headspace and I just follow them off into the magic lands. And so, yeah, that's the closest I've done to reading. And they're books that I've read like 20 times. So doesn't really count.
Nice. Comfort stories. And Kat says, so I actually said out loud that I am dropping from school. Something I've been thinking for a couple of weeks now. Only person I told was mom. School, man, it can be very overwhelming and hard. So, exactly. You got to do what's best for you. Yeah, it's weird when you start saying something out loud. It's like more weight behind it, it feels like. Okie dokie. Let's do our first sprint. It's going to be just snazzy. And then we'll come back. So I need to find my document to beta read. So see you guys in 20. Alrighty. That was the first sprint.
I think I wrote like 2 words, 2 whole words.
You wrote more than I did, but I'm almost done beta reading chapter 1. So it's a short one. Yeah.
But then again, I also had a Chaos Gremlin come home and like literally like you started the sprint and I saw the car pull in. I was like, well, I know when I'm not doing the sprint.
Nice. I have this guy. He's so sweet.
Aww.
He's all dapper. He's been groomed.
Did you feel shamed? Sasha kind of looked up at me like, I'm cute too. Yes, but I don't have a camera on this computer. And you would run if I turned it on.
Anyway, yeah. So I am kept company by a puppy. So the one I'm beta reading right now is a shorter horror story. Well, shorter. It's 100 pages. But yeah. So what? There are quite a few trigger warnings. I was like, holy smokes, okay.
Oh yeah, they can be very, very handy. I'm getting very frustrated with things that do not have them because like I'm not triggered by a lot of stuff, but I've had a full life, let's say, of very colorful experiences. So there are a few things that like no. just no, never, no. And it really frustrates me when those just decide to pop into a story unannounced and unexpected. And I know some writers are like, but it gets rid of the tension and and like, no, because there's honestly a lot more tension when you know, oh no, something really bad's about to happen.
It's suspense versus surprise.
Yeah, you've got that tension in you from the jump rather than, yeah, you don't get that surprise, that shock, but let's be honest, for the most part, that shock is fleeting and kind of a cheap play.
Yeah. Yeah. But, hello, Carrie! And hello, CB! The cat says, yeah, I'm just going to focus on things I enjoy, maybe actually put creativity out again. Yay! Yeah. So,
and hi, Eva. So you say hi in the chat, and I meant to respond, but my fingers did not type at all. Things are going well. I've been very, very busy. I have a day job that like pays me the money, and I'm gonna start teaching in the fall. So,
are you teaching online?
Yeah, it's going to be an online class about mystics and mysticism.
Ooh. Very cool.
Which, for those who know me, are like, oh, well, that makes sense.
Yeah. It's like it's either writing or the mysticism side.
Yeah, I feel like there are some people that might be like a, wait, what? Surprise for, but yeah, there's this whole other side of me.
Yeah. I have my creative writing course that I'm putting on YouTube right now for free, but it's not getting very many views. It's like, oh yeah. So.
I am frustrated with YouTube because they promised us 2-3 years ago that they were putting class features in, and they gave them to one channel that I think Hank Green was associated with. Like, it wasn't even any of the Complexly channels. It was a special channel that they did in partnership with him to demo, like, look, see, we have all the features of these other things, and then we're going to be rolling them out soon. And soon's been like 3 years. Because I mean, playlists work, and I like how they're bolstering playlists with the podcast features and stuff, but
Yeah.
it's not quite the same thing as a class.
Not quite. Yeah. Back to the comments. Kelly says, I just finished a book that I've been waiting for ages, and I just paid for a university prep course. Ooh. CP says, before you make the final decision, Kat, make a list of pros and cons for each choice. That's what I do before I make any big decisions. And they answered the question, which is, how do you overcome the, I know I should do the thing, but I just can't get myself to get out of the chair and start phenomenon? Because that's where I'm at with my middle grade right now.
So I think there are two sides to this question. And the first one is, if you are somebody who suffers from chronic pain or has any chronic ailments, sometimes you can't get up and move, and that's fine. Don't shame yourself. And starting there is an important place for people to start. If you are suffering from depression, which can be a chronic issue, as well as anxiety. Yeah, sometimes you just need to sit and process through things, but you should be processing through things. That's what you need to be getting up and doing. You need to try to work through whatever is coming up in you. Unless it's just purely a chemical thing, then hopefully you have access to the medications that will make you better.
Yeah.
But I think for some people, we need to start there, because there's a lot of shaming of people that just can't for some reason.
Yeah. Like, I'm on chapter 8, and then I haven't touched it in like a month. Like,
So my answer to this is the Stephen Pressfield answer. Like, you just show up, you write crap, you fix it later in editing. And
that's the problem. This is the editing part. So it's like, dang it.
Well, if you're in the editing part, take all of that. I really don't want to be here today feeling all those Dante Randall feelings inside you. Like, I'm not even supposed to be here today. And be vicious and savage and pull out your blade pen and kill all of the darlings.
Savage. Just.
Because I know for me, when I'm feeling that in editing, those are some of my best editing days. Because I'm so frustrated that I'm making myself sit here and I can't go do the thing or just chill out or veg out until I put at least this much time in. That frustration gets very, very vicious on the words.
Very true. Very cool. CB says, give myself consequences. If you don't do X, Y, or Z by X o'clock, you're not doing A, B, or C. Yeah, consequences. I don't know. Like, I've already paid an editor. I have a deadline, but it's an Mobius deadline of like sometime in May. Give it to me. So it's like, yeah, well.
As I've said on numerous occasions, I believe motivation is, for the most part, a lie that happy people with easy lives tell each other so that they can shame people that don't have easy lives. I really do feel that way, because motivation is like its evil sister, inspiration. There are things that we are confusing with just being in a flow state. Being in flow is not necessarily being inspired. Being in flow is not the same as being motivated. And if we're waiting for motivation, especially for someone like me who has issues with executive function, and it takes a process to start the process that will get the process started, that will get me to the place where I can start doing the thing.
Yeah.
There's like 8 stages in a row before you get to the actual thing. there's no waiting for inspiration or waiting
Right.
for motivation. And it's developing. This is where the most hated word of the modern era comes in. And I only say that because every time I say this, I get comments on my things that just say boo. So I'm expecting that now. And this is where developing discipline comes in. If it's something that you want or need to do, just sitting down and making yourself do it sometimes is all you can do.
How did you know? That's the day I'm flying back from Toronto. That's the end of my vacation to go back to Canada, where my health insurance will be like, oh yeah, you're here. Okay, now you can travel again. You have insurance. So I should do May 25th. You're very smart.
And also knowing if deadlines help or hurt you.
Yes.
Because I feel like you're someone who's very motivated by deadlines. And the quickest way to get me not to do something is tell me I have a deadline, because then the panic hits. Oh, it's going to be done by when? Oh no. Is there enough time?
I look at the anthology and stuff deadlines. I'm like, okay, which one is due in 3 days? Let me go for that one. Let me just crank this out.
Yeah,
I don't know.
My brain is wired exactly the opposite way. It is so hard for me to work on deadlines. Jules was talking about that the other day during her stream of like why she thinks camp works better than straight up nano, because it's like, I don't know, I'm going to do whatever I can do today. Yay! And I think for a lot of people, that's how we should start realizing we're not motivated by deadlines.
Yeah. So Eva says, I need to make some appointments to address that probably, but if it isn't very necessary, then I'm an impulse. All impulse. I'm not an impulse. I can read. Oh my gosh.
What, reading is an obligation here now? Like, no. This is a required skill that I reject.
Hello from Eva. And CB opened their document, got a drink and a snack. All the love for Roy. It is not scaring me yet. I'm basically saying, hey, you just have a bunch of dialogue with nothing in between. And this is page 1. So I don't know who these characters are yet. So you could add interstitial, like fiddling with a wedding ring. Is it new? Is it well worn? Because we know the husband is there, but how recent is this marriage? I know she's selling a factory. Did she work in the factory? Are there scars on her hand that she can trace while she's talking to let us know that she was hands-on in this factory as a kid? Like little things you can do to like give us something about this character instead of just a wall of dialogue. But yeah. CB is rewriting the prologue right now to make it longer. Yes, congrats on getting money, and teaching sounds fantastic for you, Charlie.
I am both excited and like very frustrated because day job, but you know, is what is.
There's a lot going on in CB's life. I hope you're doing okay. All the ooze. It's not good stuff. Lame. Let's see. Caught up. Executive dysfunction, ADHD, paralysis are both real things, but also if you're easily distracted like me, removing distraction is key. YouTube and Twitch are on my and I'm an addict list. I don't remember. It'll tell you how many hours of YouTube you've watched when you have premium. Like you have used it, and oh gosh.
Yeah, I don't know that I even want to look at that because it's. I generally always have YouTube on in the background.
I have watched 16,440 hours of ad-free YouTube.
Do I want to do this to myself? I am slowly moving towards the numbers and debating whether or not I actually want to know.
Oof. Yeah. Yeah, CB. Those are some consequences. Um, yeah, I've not washed my hair for 2 weeks at a time before when it gets bad. Just let's see. I use the roll for chaos when I can't decide or do the thing because each task is like super simple and started to kickstart my brain. Nice. Yeah. Yes, on the chronic elements thing, I have learned to be gentle with myself. I have found that doing things in small doses works. The other way I deal is do it before I sit down so I can relax. See, this is my relaxed time. Sit down and do the thing is the I'm away from the kids. So, yeah. Yes, May 25th. Eva loves deadline mode, but I can't make it come on without external pressure. And Eva says, I love showers. I don't want those to ever be punishments, even though there are times I struggle to take them. Yeah. My mom had a whole container of essential oils she was going to toss. I'm like, now I have an excuse to take a bath to use these up. Yes, thank you. I will smell pretty full. CB says, I also reward, like for instance, I broke 25K on my nano project and 30 and 45 and 50K. So I bought new dice. Heck yeah.
Dice aren't for playing games, they're an addiction.
Oh, I have a packet of dice in my suitcase, and my niece is like, she just keeps pulling them out of my suitcase.
I have so many dice, it's not even funny. And it's worse because not only do I have a problem with buying them for myself, but people know that I play games, and when they don't know what to do for a gift, they just give dice. And
or I just give you a tarot deck.
tarot decks are always the right answer. No, I just got a really pretty tarot deck, and I hate the cards. They're very slick textured cards. You know how I am about like shuffling them feels weird because you go to shuffle them and they're sliding all over the place. I'm like, yeah. Are these on better paper?
Eva thinks I could do it by April 30th. I don't know.
That's where I am with the short story that I'm doing because I'm only writing the short story. It came into being in my head solely because I won a badge on World Anvil.
Badges.
And I saw the badge and I was like, I want that badge. And
yes.
It's only partially motivational.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I love the story I'm working on, but yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I should make. Can I make April 30th my deadline? And then April 25th my deadline for the short story. I don't know. Hi, Hazelnut. Let's see. I've seen how fast you work. It is the middle grade you're stuck on. Yes. Would a chapter by chapter critique partner help? Yes. Yes, it would.
So if I randomly disappear, I can hear the drumbeat of war coming from the sky in the distance. So, and
does the drum beat have sparks?
It kind of sounds like that scene in The Two Towers when it's nighttime and they can hear the orcs coming, but they can't see them yet. You can just hear the drums off in the distance.
Or when they're in the mines of Moria.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very just boom. Boom.
I love Lord of the Rings.
Oh, there's the rain.
Word schmerds. Yesterday I wrote 15 words. Is that you wrote more than I did? Good job, CB. Bam just got home. Be right back. See, I can write like a demon all the live long day, but adulting, forget about it. Exactly. I will remove my laptop privileges when I'm not willing to concentrate. Good evening, Jocelyn. Oh, thank you.
It's one of her superpowers.
Stevie has been collecting dice. And Carrie said, I just had an hour-plus long convo with Jace about his first read-through of New Witch on campus, and I have thoughts. Trying to make sense of them so I can work the next draft. Nice. Whether it be weird, save your work.
I will say, Carrie, this might be one of those places where a voice-to-text app would be very, very handy, so that you could just like sit there and work them out of your head, and then go back and see all the different thoughts that you've had. Unless you can type fast enough to collect them. Because I've had some of those conversations with Jace, and you're thinking of all the things.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. So I applied for a job that wanted to know my word typing speed. So I did a word typing test. I got 63 words a minute. Yay! Woo-hoo! Because it was telling me what to write, and I wasn't having to make it up on the spot, and I could see how it was spelled. See, Carrie says, and this was just a broad strokes conversation, not even nitty-gritty details. I may need to record that talk. That sounds like
he's good at that, though, and he will say something completely out of left field that you may or may not do the thing that he said, but it sparks like 20 other ideas of, ooh, but that means I could blah, 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 blah. Like, just capture it all. Just you never know what's gonna be the thing. Just capture it all.
Yeah. All right, we should do another sprint. And good luck with your Chaos Goblin who has arrived home.
He is out trying to put up something over the garage to keep the rain out.
Ah, okay. He's occupied.
He's occupied at the moment.
Let's see. CP says, for some reason, you do better on paper with a pencil. Nice. Oh my gosh. My nieces, my one niece, she is obsessed with drawing faces, like having me draw faces for her. So I've been doing a lot of drawing with markers and pencils and stuff on paper.
So what I think
go face, so I have to draw a face here. Face, I have to draw a face there. Like, so many faces.
You should just play the ultimate trick on her, and every time she asks you to draw a face, just draw no face. Because technically, I mean, if you're not familiar with the reference, it is a face, but you know.
It is.
It's also no face at the same time.
Hi, Mia!
I may have a crochet pattern to make a no face, and I'm kind of wanting to do it.
Chris says, I had my phone set up to record, but then I had a computer problem and had to talk over Discord on my phone. Lame sauce. You could set up a recording session on StreamYard and download the audio.
That works too.
Yeah. Anyways, let's do a second sprint because we're not going to be here for too long. Yeah, probably 2.5 hours. So yeah. And yes, that is a Spirited Away reference. For unpaid StreamYard, you get 2 hours worth a month of recording. I used it. And CP thinks you can do that on Zoom as well. Nice. Alrighty, let's begin in 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, hi, boy. Where you go? Who's the cute puppy? Woohoo, we did it! Sprint numero dos done. And we had Esther and Andy show up. So welcome, welcome. Did you make it back, Charlie? Maybe not. Oh yeah. Esther came home from work and ate. I read it right the first time, and then the second time I read it, I thought you said you were coming home from work and a date, and I was like, oh, but no, you ate food. And Lindsay, hello, probably gonna move the like before my stream. It's awesome. CB got 248 words, very nice.
What's the point of me saying all these inappropriate things when my mic is muted because I thought I unmuted, but I didn't?
How did you do, Charlie?
I spent that entire sprint trying to debug something with our Wi-Fi network that I don't know is just broken. I don't know. I think one of our wireless antennas is broken. I don't know.
Lame sauce. Yeah. Shannon is here. Hello, hello. Get all the highs. Nice to think I would be on a date. I can't read. We've established this.
See, I can read, but it's more in like the tearing people's self-esteem down for social credit kind of a way. Like my other reading skills are very weak.
So the question I put up was, what makes reading magical to you? So I would love to hear. Is reading magical for you, Charlie?
I love being transported to worlds that are so different from our own.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the reasons that I pretty much live in the sci-fi fantasy bubble because yeah, I've got friends and family that are sick all the time. Like those books are fine, that whatever. I've lived through several mystery novels and I do not recommend it. And I've lived through a couple thriller novels and really don't recommend that. So like those genres are like no.
Uh-huh.
But I really like just being able to be transported somewhere else. I think that's one of the reasons why, like we were talking about earlier with the Lord of the Rings stuff, like there's something about the way he writes that I can see those forests, I can see those places, and I just not like a full-on escapist reader,
Uh-huh.
but I'm there for the experience. I want something that is not normal to my regular daily life.
Uh-huh.
And that to me is magical that we can have that from words printed on a page or
yeah. So contemporary is not your jam?
I have had several people try to convince me of various contemporary fantasies, and I can't get into even them sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Like contemporary fiction itself, it really depends on the plot. Like I love me some really trashy romance books, but I consider romance a fantasy genre because no relationship has ever worked like a relationship in a romance novel. Like those are fantasy novels through and through, just people don't want to admit it.
You mean a billionaire hasn't fallen in love at first sight with you, Charlie?
Okay, that is a whole other story, and it involves Cincinnati, and we're not even going to talk about that.
That is awesome.
It did not have a happy ending. There was no happy ever after.
Okay.
There was nothing but pain and sorrow and suffering, and so many black girls.
Good times. Esther says, when I don't realize time passes. And when I notice the time, 2+ hours has passed. Love it. Ah, getting sucked in. Don't. Charlie.
I'm sorry, I was laughing at Carrie's comment in the chat. Like, huh? I don't know if
You're
I'm gonna
just sucked
feel.
in. The story, the world, the characters, or for nonfiction, the information that makes you go, "Oh, gee, that's amazing."
I was laughing at the one way at the bottom because I was like, man, I don't know. I might not feel well enough to actually go to the Discord meetup tonight. I don't know.
Hello, Christian. Scrolling back up. All the hellos. CP says a really good story. Hello, Shannon. Um, you ate a date on a date, but not late. Nice. Let's see. Kat says, I figured out which nail size for each fingernail to put on some fake nails. Putting them on is an after food thing, and possibly after clearing off my bed. Makes sense. Avoid living through horror. You got through two adjacent genres.
About that.
Charlie even has horror with toothpicks. Like, oh gosh.
Oh yeah, like I'll just put it to you this way. When I started this stream and said I have lived a very colorful life, yeah, that's not a exaggeration. Right? It really is a true statement of may you have an interesting life is kind of a curse. I've had a very interesting life. I have a lot of very good stuff, good stories to tell. Good as in they are entertaining for people, not in that they were good things that, that happened along the way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Justin says, reading becomes magical to me when I forget I'm reading. That's awesome. And Shannon says, yes, that's it for me. Something that is not normal life. That's part of why I don't read a lot of contemporary, and I never write it. Makes sense. Carrie says, I've fallen asleep reading more times than I can count. I'll wake up to Joe moving my book away and trying to stick my CPAP on my face. Nice. If you don't want to tell it, I won't push you.
Yeah, just like I'm not going to push you to do karaoke in October.
Kelly says, what Charlie said, plus, when things are tied together really well, I just read a book that tied little threads together from other books in the universe, and it warmed my heart. Nice.
And if I'm really going to be like nitty gritty, like what a writer can do, answer to that question, it's a satisfying character arc. Like the Wheel of Time books are probably my favorite fantasy series of all time. And it's not because they're exquisitely written. Several of them are pure and utter trash, especially early on in the series. Like, I'm not going to lie to you. He becomes a better writer over time. But the arcs that these characters go on, and there are so many characters. He had the same disease that Gur does, and just like, I don't know, let's add another character in here. It'll be fine. But he actually gave them all satisfying arcs. Like, I don't like where some of them go. It's very much that no emotion thing when you get there, right?
You fell so hard.
Oh, right? But you go on the journey with them, and it is so satisfying that all of these little things added up to something. They all meant something in the end. It just, there's something so satisfying about a good character arc that it's one of the greatest things in fiction.
Mm-hmm. So CB likes a good story. She says, like, for example, I saw Hamilton for the second time on the 28th of March, and I didn't notice that the time had passed. And Shannon loves Wheel of Time.
Oh, they're so good. There's so many of them. Like there's so many of them that when Robert Jordan got sick and eventually died, and Brandon Sanderson took over and finished it, he had the outline to do one book from Robert Jordan and convinced them, like, can I just do a trilogy so that this ends right properly? And they were like, fine. Because the greatest joke about the Wheel of Time is that it's the world's longest trilogy.
Oh god.
Because he sold them a trilogy that went on to, I think, 20 books?
Holy D'Artagnan. Let's see. Kelly says, plus the book I just read had a black cat named Sydney, you asshole, who was chaos incarnate. I love little nuggets like Sydney's shenanigans. Kat says, food has arrived. It is Wendy's. Stepdad picked it up for me. That cool. So reading. For me, it's escapist, but it's different because, like, I just hear the words that I read in my own voice in my head. I don't actually see anything when I read. So it's, I don't know, it's like falling in love with the worlds and the characters so that I feel like I could tinker in them and live in them. Like, I don't know. I just love, like, when my mother banned me from reading certain book series during the school year because I would keep rereading them and do homework at 4 a.m. instead of midnight. So,
I have no idea what you're talking about. This is a foreign experience to me.
So I would write down, I had a notebook and I would write down like every spell used and what they did so that I could whittle wands in the backyard, and we still have battles and they were canon battles. They were book accurate. Like, I reread Lord of the Rings, my favorite part. Like, would reread the whole trilogy, and then I would just reread my favorite chapters, and then I found my favorite paragraph and I memorized it. Like, I had problems, man.
And then I found the Lost Tales and the Silmarillion, and there's so much more to read.
I know. The only problem was the Silmarillion was on cassette for the audiobook from the library. And so I would put it in my boombox and I would fall asleep and the cassette would be done by the time I woke up. So I'd have to try and rewind the cassette. Like, where was I? And then it was due at the library. It's like, dang it.
Thank you for that. It's 14 books in Wheel of Time. It's a lot. I think for a lot of people, if you say there are 14 books in this series, they hear 20 or infinity. Like, this is one of those, there are two kinds of people in the world. They're, hey, would you like to read this 14 book series? And they go, yay. And they're like, did you say infinite word series? What?
It's so crazy to me that there are fan fictions that have literally 1 million plus words in them. It's like, you have more words in this fanfic than there are in the whole canon of what you're basing this off of. Like, that's so cool and very dedicated. Yeah. CP says, it's very rare that I find myself reading for 3 or 4 hours and not knowing that the time has passed. I've not really read a book since the author, who must not be named, became evil. Let's see. You are another aphantasia people. Yes, I am. That 4-hour difference must have been it for Mama Nettles. Yes, she literally took the Lord of the Rings book because I grew up reading the actual physical one that she grew up reading. So it's all 3 in one big thingamajig with the appendices.
That's a wrist buster.
And the font is so tiny. So I would read for hours and hours, and I would only read 20 pages. I'm like, are you serious? But yeah. She caught me reading with a flashlight a couple times. It was bad. But it was so good. Anyway.
I don't think we've gotten to the place where we understand how fanfic is going to completely change both writing and reading. So I'm just seeing all the fanfic comments in the chat. Sorry.
Yeah, but so since Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings were banned, instead I would go to my school library and I read the whole shelf of Star Wars novels. So, CB says I managed to read 24 Touch of the Goblet of Fire in one night. Nice, that's awesome. Carrie says, I remember reading my flashlight when my sister and I shared a room. Grandma caught me and said I was going to go blind.
You mentioned
131. Okay. Big Sisters Club.
You mentioned reading the Star Wars books. It's really frustrating to me that some of the best space opera that's out there right now is the High Republic Star Wars series. Like, as far as, again, those things that I love, the character arcs, the world building, they got a bunch of great writers together and said, have fun. And so much of the genres I love have become so formulaic. And these books are doing things that I don't want them to do, but I'm enjoying the ride.
Mm-hmm.
They're not afraid to kill characters. That's like, be very, if you start reading these books, be very careful who you fall in love with, because there are a lot of great characters in these books, and they are not afraid to like bring the death hammer down, and like you'll finish a chapter and like, oh well, 3 of my favorite characters just died.
Dang it! Not my faves.
They're not afraid to just like, well, it's time for all of these people to go.
Yeah.
So the cat just ran through the room and jumped up on a table and did not understand how to exercise her brakes properly, and slid all the way across the top of the table and off the other side, and continued sliding across the floor as she continued to slide away because her brakes would not engage.
Bricks are for mortals.
I wish I had that on camera because that was funny. Yeah, you.
Esther said, still reading a 400k fan fiction. I'll finish it someday. Yes. There was one that I read that was over 200k, and then they pulled a amnesia that's irreversible thing, and I was like, after 200,000 words, you're turning this back to canon. This is unforgivable. I'm so mad. So mad.
Hi. I decided I'd come and annoy you.
Yay! With Wendy's. Very cool.
So jealous, but we're having really, really saucy Chinese and fresh. Well, not too fresh because it's fermented, but homemade kimchi.
So, speaking of graphic novels, CB, there is one submission that's open. It might be closed by now, but it might still be open. There's one submission where you submit a short story and they will transform it into a graphic novel. It's like they will turn your short story into a script and then into the graphic novel for you. It's like, that sounds really cool. So I submitted one. Fingers crossed. CP says I have to be super careful reading small fonts because it's enough to give me a migraine. Migraines suck. And Kelly says, not sure I can read million-word book, let alone a fanfic. It's called editing, people.
Because I've been reading fanfiction for so long, because I started reading it when I was 12, my brain just fixed most of it. If I actually DNF a fanfic for whatever, like for the formatting or the word stuff, that means it's really, really bad.
Yeah.
If I DNF a fanfic. for those reasons. Like, I'll DNF a fanfic because like they didn't tag stuff correctly, but that's that point.
Oh, good old tags. Carrie says, I think my mom has some of my Babysitter's Club books. She saved them for Peanut when she's a little older. I also have my American Girl books set aside for her. American Girl. Stevie says, I started with Babysitter's Little Sister series and graduated to the main series once I'd read all the ones in my local library. That's awesome. Hello, Jocelyn! Wheel of Time is massive!
It really is.
Oh, I'm sorry, CB. Yeah, there are some not nice people on the internet. There's still stuff on AO3. Cool. Yeah, you're jealous of Charlie.
It's the blessing and curse of being married to a chef.
All of his experiments have to be at home now.
Oh, the pain. I volunteer myself as tribute.
Let me look it up real quick.
I will sacrifice so other people don't have to.
I wish to go to your home so that I can eat onion-free food. But yeah.
Well, one of our best friends also has an onion allergy, so we're quite accustomed to doing onion-free food.
Where did it go?
You'll find it.
So I have to say, the fact that Brian has figured out how to master both onion-free and gluten-free gravy.
Onion-free gravy is not that hard, but gluten-free gravy. That's
Yes, but when you do both of these,
it's a little bit harder.
because many of the non-glutinous things that you can do to make a gravy don't have the flavor because they don't toast up like the like flour does.
Yeah.
So usually the answer to that, when you look at gluten-free recipes, they're like, add garlic, add onion. You won't miss the toasted flavor. Yeah.
So with my bread machine, I might possibly try and learn how to make gluten-free bread.
My mother can make gluten-free bread.
The only reason I would learn how to make gluten-free bread is honestly to take it to Brian.
There is a Irish soda bread that I have started making that I don't know if the creator of it intended it to be this. She does not market it as this, but it tastes like the best honey nut loaf you've ever had.
Nice.
Yeah. One without xanthan gum.
I can't find the submission. I will look for it during the final sprint.
You know, you can only not find it because you're looking for it.
I know.
Them's the rules.
Yes. Jocelyn bought a copy of the Cimmerillion but hasn't read it yet. Formatting is the biggest reason for DNFing a fanfic. Same cat, I will DNF a fic because it's not the pairing I ship, or there are spelling errors copied from canon.
Okay, I don't even click on fanfics that aren't a thing that because like I always read tags first. But like if the tags, it's not tagged like correctly.
Yeah. Or it's missing some
major important
ones.
Tags.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I am not prepared for this.
Paragraphs need spaces between. Let's see. Just use arrowroot flour for the gravy. Yes, it is. I've used it before. My one and only attempt at gluten-free bread was a disaster. Yeah, mine did not turn out good. My mom does too.
It's really easy to make pancakes out of.
Bedtime is in 30 minutes. Got to start the routine with the child. Might be back if you're still going to see if I'll be on Discord. Awesome. Sorry. I will look. Okay, final sprint. This one. I said pause. Oh my gosh! Come on. Thank you.
Expecting things to respect your authority.
Respect my click. Okay.
YouTube only respects clicks if they're on ads.
As to be said, most of the time I'll not click if it's Iron Strange or Stone. I've never read an Iron Strange. But some stories on fanfiction.net will not specify pairing, and then bam, it's a pairing I don't read.
In those betters' defense, FFN is the situation.
They don't let you have enough tags.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there's not enough. There's not enough room. And sometimes they're not even like weird. Yeah.
Anyways, final sprint. In 3, 2, 1, go. Alrighty. That was the final sprint.
Woot woot.
How was your food?
It was good.
Yeah.
I had
Delicious.
to hunt down my nail glue
I know.
because these things used to come with glue in them.
Yeah.
They don't anymore.
Lame sauce.
But I'm like, I have glue, and I got the brush-on kind, so I can actually coat my nail. And then I clipped my nails so that they're shorter,
Mm-hmm.
so I can put the fake nails on.
Cool. Are you back, Charlie? There's still music.
Technically,
Oh. Well,
no, I made the very good decision of I'm going to brush my hair for this sprint and luxuriated in brushing my hair the entire time.
Sounds nice. If I brush my hair, it explodes. But I did get to brush it when it was chemically straightened for a few years. It was nice.
I used to have very curly hair, and I guess I straightened it for so long that it gave up.
Nice. I did find the submission. So it closed yesterday for normal people, but right now it's the extended submission period. So, yeah.
So if you're extraordinary,
Exactly.
You have a chance.
Yes. And then CB says, right now I'm afraid I have to bounce a little earlier than normal would. There are circumstances outside of my control. I have my carers tomorrow and Thursday. Good night, CB. I have to get ready for bed because she's coming at 9:30. Hello, Shannon. Again, got out invites for the AWC first page critique panel. I'm excited that we have a literary agent this year who marked interested for the first page critique panel. Trad publishing is very underrepresented in the AWCs, not for lack of trying. I saw this agent had a conference last year and asked if he wanted to talk at this year's AWC when I saw he had a YouTube channel. Also just started sending out emails for the AWC appearances. Cool.
My emails won't come from you, I believe they'll come from Margaret. Some might come from you. I don't know.
This boy. Oh my gosh. He's been asleep on his back. That boy. Yep. I use this certificate of clay and razors submitted to the link you just posted. Oh, cool.
Nice.
That might not work because it needed to be at least like 3,000 words. I don't know. Maybe yours was long enough. I don't remember it being that long. Anyways. Yeah, cool. So, I am ready to eat something.
I know our rice cooker just made its happy rice is done song.
Nice.
Like, I can't wait till the Zeroshi are fancy enough that they put a little holographic dancing rice grain that just kind of floats over the machine when it's done, because it's already does the song, and like, it's the rice cooker from the future.
You guys also, is it your washer that does a happy little song?
Our washer does too. Brian has a slight addiction to Japanese machinery.
I like it.
Let's say it's definitely not American.
It's much cooler.
Our washing machine does a happy little dance song when it's done.
It's awesome.
Though
Nice.
I have been very trained by the Thoroji because I heard it do its happy dance song, and my mouth is like crazy watering right now. It's like, it's done.
Okay, okay. Where will you guys be next that people can find you?
So on my channel, at CE Dorset, I will be doing a writing and productivity stream on Wednesday, starting at 5 p.m. Eastern.
Very exciting.
I'm normally over on Twitch at times.
That's
And I
true.
just realized that that's tomorrow. Sorry.
Yes, it
Tomorrow.
is.
Which, because you're doing those again, I'm slowly attempting to adjust my streaming schedule so that I can be there.
I fought very hard with the day job to get my Wednesdays back. I had to pick a day to fight for, and that's where I staked my flag.
Good old Wednesdays. Cool. Nia Vixen of Fiction is streaming in 25 minutes. So, yeah. I guess I will see you guys around the tubes. And thank you for being here. I got a stream in while I was in California. So exciting. Not leave studio and stream. Yes. Okay. See you all later. Bye.